I saw her just before I ran up here, G, and she was all smiles. So I'm not sure where she's at. She looks good. She definitely looks relaxed.
Starting with a bang this week, Ariarne Titmus from lane 4. So all the action in the centre of the pool. Lani Pallister probably won the start. In fact, she comes up marginally ahead of Ariarne. And Jamie Perkins in lane 3, also up near the speed, but Ariarne just starting to pull through in the middle. She had such a dominant lead in the heat this morning at about the halfway mark. She was a couple of body lengths ahead and just continued to put a space on the rest of the opposition. And Ariarne turns ahead of Lani Pallister and Jamie Perkins after 50.
She's out quickly. So that world record split that we're watching here is also Ariarne Titmus. So this is the pace that we watch her swim. The way that she's going to be able to go out, the way that she's going to be able to control this race. The key mark for Ariarne Titmus is at the last 100 metres to go. This is when all of the training, all of her preparation comes into play, but she's setting herself up very nicely through that first 100.
Strong swim from Lani as well in lane 5. Lani breathes to the left every stroke like a traditional distance swimmer, so she's got into that stroke and that rhythm very early. She's actually almost gaining ground on Arnie in this third lap when she's breathing away from her, so almost very aware that she's got to keep within striking distance of Arnie and hoping that Arnie will drag her to a PB in a qualifying time.
And that's what you can do. You can go off one of the other competitors, be in just the kind of slipstream that they have, be able to carry through some of their speed.
And just keep an eye on the clock too in relation to Lani Pallister, because it is a very small but select group of swimmers that have broken the 4-minute barrier in the 400. Ariarne being one, Summer McIntosh, Katie Ledecky, Federica Pellegrini and Erica Fairweather.
So this will be interesting at the 200-metre mark. Arnie's still under her own world record pace at this stage. This is where she dropped off slightly this morning. Have a look at the clock. She's still nearly half a second under.
She's been consistent every 50 metres. Let's see if this crowd can also help Arnie through this race. But Lani Pallister being able to stick it with her right here, incredibly impressive.
So Ariarne asserting her dominance, but Lani Pallister right there as she searches to break that 4-minute barrier in the 400, but Ariarne, she's clapped it on here, and she's suddenly 2 body lengths ahead of Lani Pallister. The crowd that have come here to Chandler tonight are hoping to see a world record in the first final.
I feel like she just lifted almost off that turn.
This is a movement that she's put in place. It's kind of like a set piece for Ariarne. I think Lani Pallister being so close to her, it's actually spurred her on. She hasn't known exactly what pace she's at. She wants to be out ahead. She wants to have that lead, almost bring it to 4 or 5 metre mark lead. Key point, last 100 metres.
This is where we also need to keep an eye on Lani. Has she gone out too hard? We're seeing a bit of a resurgence of Jamie Perkins in lane 3, the 19-year-old training partner of Arnie, so she knows what she's capable of. But right now, it is all Ariarne Titmus. That 6-beat kick has almost increased with 100 metres to go. What time is she capable of tonight?
So she's still on the world record pace by quite a margin. And the crowd urging this global superstar on. She has put a space between herself and Lani Pallister. She goes into touch, still under world record time.
This is going to be very tight. This all comes down to the last 50 metres. Relying on the crowd, relying on that 6-beat kick that she has there as well. Come on, Arnie.
30 metres to swim. It's Ariarne versus the world record. Can we start this week in the most stunning of fashion? Ariarne's hanging on, the red line's coming. Ariarne Titmus, she might be getting a little bit tired. She's stretching out on the wall. The world record's gone, but watch out for the Olympic champs coming back for more gold. Lani Pallister touches the wall and has also booked a spot for Paris. What a start. That one hurt Ariarne, but anyone here tonight won't forget that swim. That is a message.
Wow, talk about goosebumps. She's only 6/100ths of a second outside her own world record. Shows you how dominant she was over those last 5 metres when she set that world record, but an incredible swim tonight.
Ariarne Titmus, gosh, you had the entire crowd on all 10 toes, me on 5 toes, that's for sure. I'm not sure if you realised what was happening, but you were well and truly under world record pace, and it just snuck onto you in the last 5 minutes. You were 6/100ths of a second out. How was that race for you? You took it out hard.
Yeah, I mean, Dean sent me a text this afternoon and said, you're free like a bird. It's a bit of a free hit out. I knew if I did my job tonight, like, I'd be going to Paris, but pressure's kind of off as well. Like, as long as I do my job, I'd be fine. So it was more of a chance for me to practice a race plan and see how I would go. But it doesn't matter about what happens here. It's about what happens in 6 weeks' time. So I'm just really happy now to finally tick the box, and my family aren't going to Paris for no reason. They're actually going to watch me now. So that's a good feeling.
I'm sure they would have enjoyed it otherwise, but watching Ariarne Titmus in action certainly is fantastic for them as well. Now, I'm sure you know how anticipated this event is going to be in Paris. You have the likes of Summer McIntosh, of course, Katie Ledecky. You were coming into this event ranked second, but obviously have completely obliterated all of the world times this year. How do you think your chances are in Paris?
I'm on, good kind of track at the moment, but you still don't know what other people can do in the period of time they've had since racing. So I know you can get a lot of work done in 6 weeks. So I know that all the girls in that final field, it's not just us three. The field in the 400 is incredibly deep. So I think everyone's going to be working hard, and it's not going to be easy.
Well, congratulations, Arnie. We'll leave you wait here for a sec. We'll just bring in Lani Pallister, who has just qualified for an Olympic team, and I am feeling very emotional. I can't imagine how you're feeling, but after missing Tokyo and then going through all of the health battles that you've had, I can only imagine how big this moment is for you.
I don't want to cry on camera.
Don't worry, I did last time.
Yeah, it's been huge. I was thinking about 3 years ago, all through today, to be honest, and I didn't think I'd be here, standing on the block 3 years ago, or standing behind the blocks. So yeah, going to my first Olympics alongside Arnie is going to be incredible, and I'm just really grateful.
And I know your mum, Janelle, has obviously been watching, as well as your godmother, the one and only Dawn Fraser. Would you like to send a message to them?
I just want to try and find her to give her a hug before I started crying, but no, I'm so grateful. I don't think without my mum bringing me the whole way up through swimming and then partnering with Bowley at the end of 2021, I'm just, so grateful for all that they've done for me, and can't wait to continue the family legacy in Paris this year.
Amazing job, girls. I'm sure you'll be getting lots of hugs, but congratulations, you're off to Paris.
Kaylee blistering off the blocks in lane 5. Into the butterfly straight away, and Kaylee McKeon with a withering start, already half a body length ahead of the field.
She was great off the blocks, but it was also the underwater work which would have carried from the backstroke. Traditionally seeing her being able to get out under the water, doing a lot of dolphin kicks on her back to be able to come up near that 15-metre mark, which will go into her favourite event, well ahead.
There was a good back end to that opening lap by Isabella Boyd to turn in second, and Ella Ramsey, the youngest, second youngest swimmer in this field, from Chandler, swimming in lane 4. She's up there, but this is where Kaylee excels.
So Kaylee with the Australian record of 2:06.99 set earlier this year at the Australian Championships. So she hasn't swum this event that many times. It is a new addition to her program in the last few years, and this is her real, I guess, first crack at it in an International Olympics, competing at the Olympics. So
she missed out at the World Championships because she was disqualified in the heat, and it was because she made a lazy turn there, but she's definitely not making those tonight. It was almost like she allowed that backstroke leg to set her up for this breaststroke leg, and she's 2 body lengths ahead of the field. Coming into the 50 metres, is transitioning into the freestyle.
So 2:10.62, the magic time to watch. Kaylee McKeon, the Australian record holder, and the 5th fastest performer in history in this event, not her full-time event. She turns with 50 metres left to swim.
just saw Ella Ramsey in lane 4 had a sneaky little look at the end of the breaststroke leg, seeing where Kaylee McKeon is. She's flying as well. The 19-year-old from Chandler, is she going to book herself a trip to Paris?
So Kaylee powering away here. Kaylee McKeon versus the red line. This is an incredible back half of the race. Kaylee heading into the wall.
Wow.
And the qualifying time has been reached 2:06.60 record. She's beaten her own national record, though, at 2:06.63, a dominant win. And the great news, too, is that Ella Ramsey has qualified for this event at the Paris Games. We have 2 swimmers under the qualifying time and another stunning race and another one of our great champions. She's heading to France. Let's go to Ellie.
Kaylee, we know how strong you are in the backstroke events. However, you are starting to give the IM a little bit of a nudge. Only half a second outside of Katika Hostu's world record then. And you look like you're not even breaking a puff. How was that event for you?
Look, it's a bit of fun for me. I'm glad it's on the first night. You kind of just get in the groove and get it out of the way. So I'm really happy with that performance tonight.
Now, your coach, Michael Ball, and yourself, obviously heading for quite a lofty event program in Paris, entering both of the backstroke events, I'm assuming, as well as now the IM events. Now, you mentioned that you are trying to get a little bit more confidence in the medley swimming, and it's something that you've been doing a fantastic job at lately. Your event in April, obviously a personal best time. Hitting it again, how are you feeling now? Are you feeling confident?
I mean, you never know what can happen. The Americans are up next week, so I've just got to put my best foot forward and, you know, hopefully in Paris, my foot's better.
And how are you feeling about heading to Paris? You know, it's a country that you and I travelled to in the lead into Birmingham, and we had a great time there. But how are you feeling heading back there for the Olympics?
Woo!
Well, thank you, Kaylee, for keeping it G-rated, and congratulations as well on another Olympic Games. We are going to speak to Ella as well, who has qualified for the team. Congratulations, Ella. Well, obviously a very popular member with the audience here, being from Chandler Swimming Club. How are you feeling heading up to Paris, taking that ticket to Paris on the first night of trials?
I'm over the moon. Like, it's been a dream since I was a younger kid, so it's just a massive relief, to be honest, yeah.
Now, you did go out pretty hard this morning in the finals in a personal best time. How was your approach heading into the IM before, in the lead up to the trials? And how do you think that you went? Do you think you delivered on your race plan? Obviously, booking that ticket to Paris is a plus, but are you happy with the way that the race went?
I was targeting more so the 4 IM, but the 200 IM only come like into the books the last few months, so I was happy with that. And then I was happy with my heat swim this morning, so just to build on that tonight was, yeah, the plan.
And how special is this moment for your family? 2 family members as Olympians. You know, your dad obviously competing at the Olympics. It must be amazing to follow in his footsteps.
Yeah, it's amazing. He's one of my biggest role models, so to have him up in the stands also watching means the world to me.
Well, congratulations. You're off to Paris. Everyone, round of applause for Emma McKeon, Ella Ramsey. Rose, another 2 athletes on our Paris Olympic team.
There's some experience in going into an Olympic campaign.
So a fairly even start. Lane 4, Williamson has started well. And Zach's doubling Cook, he's not the greatest of starters. He does come with a rush, but he doesn't want to give Williamson too big of a break here. And over in lane 3, Josh Collett is up there on speed, but Williamson very dominant through the opening 50 metres here. He's going to turn a body length ahead.
Great start, 26.89 from Williamson, getting over the stroke really well that first 50 metres. So he's projecting the body forward with a momentum towards the other wall.
So Williamson leading. Here comes Stubblety Cook with that fast second 50. It's Williamson by a body, then Young not far away. And Stubblety Cook there as well. He's finishing quickly, Zach, and he's starting to slow Williamson, and Young coming. I think Williamson's going to hang on here. He's going to get the qualifying time. Does Young stretch out and get it as well? It's tight. Sam Williamson, 58.80. Has an individual slot in the 100 breaststroke for Paris.
And that is the fastest time anyone has ever done or ever swum on Australian soil or in Australian water for this case. Faster than Adam Peaty was able to do back in 2018.
Well, he's got a smile from ear to ear, and he was pretty happy with himself this morning, Sam Williamson, and that's very satisfying.
Sam Williamson, you left absolutely nothing to chance this morning in the heat swim, clocking a qualifying time. I was nervous. I was hoping you'd be able to do it again. You were out in blistering pace and you held on another qualifying time off to Paris. You must be ecstatic.
Yeah, I think I'm lost for words. I told myself this morning, if you make it, don't cry on TV.
Will you?
Probably when I give my mum and dad a hug.
Look, I know you from being on the Birmingham team with you. I know your charm. I know your character. In fact, if you Google Sam Williamson, 99% of the photos are of you smiling. And that's what I love about you so much. Is that the approach that you have when you enter an event like this, is to have fun, enjoy the moment? Do you think that's your secret weapon?
Definitely, I mean, all the hard work's been done. It's been, I couldn't tell you how many years of hard work. So just to step out and do it with a smile, I think just do everything with a smile.
Well, the crowd love you. We'll get you standing here for a moment because we need to bring in Josh Young, who has also qualified for the team. Congratulations, amazing job. He is in absolute disbelief. How are you feeling?
I think the same as Sam, just at a loss for words. But honestly, yeah, I was really happy to swim, so yeah.
Now you've been coming second and third at the last few trials. It's incredible to swim a qualifying time and be off to Paris. First time Olympian. I know that your family are going to be so incredibly proud. Did you ever imagine a moment like this would happen?
In my dreams, I guess. I guess I'd just like to, thank all the support that I've received from all the support staff, coaches, friends, family, everyone who supported me pretty much. So thank you, everyone.
And speaking of supporters, Sam, I know your family are here tonight. I'm sure you have a message for them.
Yeah, I just want to thank Mum and Dad for their unwavering support over all these years. I know it hasn't been the easiest journey getting here, but I just can't wait to give you guys a big hug. I love you.
In less than a minute, Emma could be on the plane to Paris.
Take your marks.
It was a fairly even start. Brianna Throstle away, perhaps marginally better than Emma. Not all that much separating the swimmers. In the centre of the pool, we expect the bulk of the action to be forward out. It's McKeon narrowly from Throstle. Brittany Castelluzzo over in lane 2 swimming well also. But Emma is going to have an advantage as they touch the wall and head back for the second 50. Throstle and Perkins, the three big guns, are up there fighting it out.
Underwater work was great from Emma McKeon. So we come overhead to be able to see where they are. Looks like we have Alex Perkins challenging Brianna Throstle.
So Emma doesn't have it her own way here. It's McKeon leading, but Throssell's really throwing down the law. McKeon in front, Perkins coming, Throstle not going away. What a race this is. They touch the wall. McKeon is heading to Paris. It wouldn't be an Australian swim team without it. 56.85. Alex Perkins has also got underneath that qualifying time, has she? We'll have to wait and see whether that's the case. And Brianna Throstle in third, but that was a thrilling finish, and Emma has come out on top.
Surprised a little bit with the time there, but interesting for Alex Perkins. Decided to go in on a stroke further out to the wall, otherwise it would have been a short stroke. It paid off for her to get into second place there.
So it'll be interesting to see what selectors do.
Emma McKeon, you've just booked yourself a ticket to your third Olympic Games.
Yeah, I'm stoked. I mean, that's what the Olympic trials are about, trying to get yourself on the team. It's really nice to do that on the first night.
And it must take the pressure off to be able to do that on the first night. Now, if we look back over your career, everybody here knows that you are the most decorated Olympian with 11 medals, 5 of them gold. However, most may not know that you joined the Australian swim team when you were just 15 years old. I might add, happy birthday for last week, or week before last.
Yeah, 30 now, so it's been a long time on the team. 15 years, or 14 years actually. I made it in 2010 when I was 15, so I was so young. But I think it's also important to remember, even with 15 years of experience on the national team, you still have doubts, and you still have to
like battle those and overcome them. It's completely normal. And for me, like, I chose to keep swimming after Tokyo because I felt like I had more to give, but also because I wanted to see what I was capable of, both physically and mentally, and kind of overcoming those self-doubts and things is all part of that.
That's a great message to send to all of the young swimmers out there. And you did mention that even after being on the team for 15 years, you're not resting on your laurels. You still have more to give. What are you looking forward to most in Paris?
Celebrating with my family. Just being at another Olympics. Just soaking it all up and, yeah, just really enjoying, I suppose, everything I've done, but just like driving for something.
That's great. Look, I'll let you go, but I'll see you later in the week for a huge 100-metre freestyle. Congratulations, Emma McKeon, off to Paris.
These events are so tough. You don't know what you're going to be up against when it comes to competition and qualification for the Olympics.
They are both fierce rivals. Short and Winnington, side by side. Men's 400 freestyle final.
Take your marks.
Winnington World Champ 2022, Short World Champ 2023, and Winnington has won the start. He was away in a real hurry.
Once again, Elijah looking very comfortable. Straight into rhythm, straight into stroke. You see Sam Short moving straight away to that lane rope, that side that is nearing to Elijah.
So trying to look at being able to swim in some of that wake that Elijah Whittington would be producing. So the ideal place to be able to sit for anyone to be able to be pulled along in some ways is about at the hip level, which is right where Sam Short is sitting, even though he's breathing away. But Elijah Whittington has established his early comfortable speed for his first 100. Sam Short accelerating.
And it's noteworthy too, as the lap progresses closer to the wall, Short narrows the gap and Winnington re-establishes that lead.
So re-establishing the lead is the difference between the turns and what you're able to make up on them. Sam Short having to then catch back up to where he was going into the turn with all the work that you do in the swimming component of the lap.
Well, this has been the pattern in races between this pair for quite some time. Stroke for stroke, inch for inch, and Short looks like he's going to go in a touch narrowly ahead this time of Elijah Whittington, but there is nothing separating them after 150 metres, and they are below world record time.
Half a second under, the 150-metre mark as we come into the 200. Sam Short getting over his stroke a lot better than what he did this morning. Just looking a little bit sluggish in his performance. Should lead through the 200.
Well, Elijah just having a little look to the left coming into that turn to make sure he had everyone on that side covered. So it's interesting that both of our leaders breathe to the right, which means Sam Short gets a clear view of Elijah heading down the pool, and that's where he tends to make ground. And then Elijah coming home obviously has Sam Short in his sights. So Elijah with the benefit of the final lap at this stage.
Yeah, it is the benefit that does come down to that final 50 metres, being able to see where the opponent is, especially when you're struggling up to 350 metres of this race, being able to try and find something else there.
Well, what a way to conclude the opening night. A dogfight between Sam Short and Elijah Whittington. Compelling stuff. The crowd right into it now, and they've been at it from the opening lap, and there is nothing between them. Whittington looks like he's going to go in and touch the wall here with 100 metres to swim. The barest of margins on Sam Short. Who knows who's going to win? There's two spots available. They look like they've got it between them here. Ben Godemans is swimming a bold race in lane 3, but these two world champions are asserting their dominance.
Sam Short, you'd expect he has to be on the wall fastest here through the 350-metre mark to give himself a shot.
So Whittington's done well there in that penultimate lap. They turn with 50 metres to swim, and Whittington was out of the wall in a real hurry.
Yeah, coming in to try and bring a sprint leg in, 6-beat kick. overwhelming for Sam Short trying to match it here.
Well, he's coming back, Sam Short. He is such a great racer. Winnington leading. Sam Short trying to issue the challenge late in the race. There's 10 metres to go. Elijah Winnington, he's going to prevail. 20 years on from Thorpe and Hackett going 1-2 in Athens. Winnington and Short have the same chance in Paris. What a race.
Both well under that qualifying time. Great race, great swim. 3:43.26. Would win most Olympic Games, either of those times. There's only a few exceptions to that.
Oh, what a race. That was sensational, wasn't it? And I think for both of these guys, you look at them now and they're both happy with those times, but it's also a sense of relief.
Elijah, King of Australia once again in the 400 metres freestyle. You must be pretty happy with that performance and booking yourself a plane ticket to Paris.
Yeah, definitely. The point of an Olympic trials is obviously to make the Olympics, so that's just the box ticked. I just try to go out there and sort of give it my all and see where I'm at. So yeah, it's good heading into the Games in 6 weeks' time.
Now talk us through the process of what it's like to compete at a national championships in April and then having to back up again for an Olympic trials. Talk us through what that process between those few weeks look like.
Yeah, so it's pretty strenuous. I mean, obviously we're just trying to ultimately build and get faster and faster and faster as the season goes along. That's a little bit slower than nationals, but doesn't really matter for now. Like I said, the job was to sort of book my ticket, and that's what I did.
And Sam, congratulations on that performance. I watched your heat this morning. You didn't look too pleased with that result, but you must be pleased with the final tonight.
Yeah, I mean, obviously very happy with tonight. I've had it probably the hardest last couple of weeks I've had leading into a comp. You know, lots of stuff gone wrong. So, I mean, I've still got that mental attitude. I knew I was going to fight the whole way today, and lucky I'm racing one of the best in the world as well. So I'm really grateful for Elijah and got the job done and finally on the way to Paris.
Yes, congratulations. You are on the way to Paris. How do you manage those weeks when you're leading into a competition that's as important as the trials and things maybe aren't turning out the way that you're hoping they are?
I mean, I'm only 20 years old, so this is probably the first experience I've ever had at it. Usually everything goes right. I'm pretty grateful for that, but you know, I've got the best coach in the world, Damien Jones, and Rocky Centenary's been really helpful towards me, and you know, I think it's just a testament to all of them and myself and my family that's why I'm now an Olympian.
You are. Elijah, you know, usually not one to shy away from the camera. Let's bring you back in. Now, boys, we know just how successful the 400-metre freestyle program has been at the Olympic Games. How do you both feel standing on the shoulders of giants like Murray Rose, Ian Thorpe, Mac Horton? You're both going to be going head-to-head at the Olympic Games, hopefully for this gold medal, but how do you feel sitting on the shoulders of these giants?
Yeah, I mean, it's really special, and I think that's why Sam and I are both standing here, is because we looked up to those guys. Thorpe, who I know is commentating somewhere, and, you know, they really just pioneered the way for Australian swimming, and that's exactly who Sam and I looked up to. So I'm hoping there's an 8-year-old in the stand somewhere that's looking at me and Sam, and maybe for Brisbane 2032, they're the ones that are going to be standing here.
Absolutely. And Sam, what does the legacy of the 400 mean for you?
Oh, I mean, I've probably watched every single YouTube of Thorpe and Hackett probably 100 times each. Give me a statistic, I'll probably know it. So, I love the history. I love being a part of it now, and hopefully in Paris I can definitely improve on that performance and get my name up in history.
Well, we all have been watching Thorpe's 400s, but all eyes will be on both of you in Paris. Congratulations on your way to Paris. It's a fantastic performance, boys.